everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and today I have a very exciting video. It's finally my Sheffield Legacy current household update kind of video. It's heavily inspired off of I'm Gen X's Choi Legacy current household series that she has on her channel, so go check hers out. It's really interesting. Her Sims are great. But let's get into my family. So the Sheffield Legacy, I started the Sheffield Legacy over a year ago now when I created the heir, which was Bryn Sheffield. Now, that Let's Play wasn't one that I ended up committing to, and the legacy itself was just not as enjoyable. However, I used her three children, Clover, Ace, and Leo, who we see, know, and love, um, and I ended up using them for my high school years Let's Play, which I think a lot more of you guys know on my channel than the original Sheffield Legacy, but you honestly don't need to get caught up on that original legacy in order to understand this one. But at the end of the high school years Let's Play, the finale episode, if you haven't seen it, I'll leave a card. We saw that Clover was a young adult and she graduated from high school, and she actually started at Britchester University for a drama degree, even though she's not using it for any acting. She's using it for the social media career, like I think it's internet personality branch, but I don't really have a lot of screenshots from the beginning of when I was playing because I didn't think I'd do this type of video. Um, but she actually ended up breaking up with Will, her boyfriend from high school, and she moved to San Myshuno and moved into her own apartment. She's living on her own, and she actually met a very interesting neighbor of hers, and his name is Philip. He's super cute and he is super sweet. And they kind of had like a bit of a, butting heads moment when they first met, but they grew to really like each other and became like super close friends super fast. And he just helped her out a lot at the beginning while she was struggling with university and also just first moving into the city. But Clover and Philip actually got super close. He kind of had a crush on Clover. She kind of liked him too, but she still didn't feel ready for a relationship. She let him know, but they did, have their moment. They had their first kiss and they were very sweet with it. And Philip understood that she was not ready for a relationship, and he kind of respected that. And, he didn't try to push her or anything. And I think that's what made Clover like really respect him and love having him as a friend because of how understanding he like really is. And overall Philip is just like a great guy. Around the same time that Clover was nearing the end of university, Leo and Ace actually aged up, and I think you guys low-key might hate Leo's hair, and I understand if you do, but I kind of like it on him. I don't know, it's weird, but I think he just kind of looks handsome. But as I was saying, Clover was nearing her graduation, which she finally got to. She did incredible in university. She had A plus for her GPA, and she actually reunited with Will. They actually both graduated from Britchester, which Clover, by the way, got a distinguished degree, which is super great for her. It put her super high in her career. And after her graduation, she actually went out and celebrated with her friend Erin from high school, who you guys should remember from high school years. And the two of them, throughout Clover's time in university, were actually quite close. Aaron, he would come over quite frequently and just spend a lot of time with Clover. And, Clover kind of felt a connection with Aaron that she hadn't felt in a while since high school. And she was a little taken aback by this and a little bit confused, but it's not something she ever acted on after this moment because she, realized she was growing this really large fondness for Philip. As Clover was getting settled into her new job and everything like that, Leo, Ace, and Dana actually started university. I believe that Leo and Dana go to Foxbury and that Ace went to Brightchester. I believe that's what happened. But the two of them, Leo and Dana, were very focused on their studies, and they are loving the school. They love it so much. I think they're currently still in it. I don't think they've graduated yet, but they are so heavily focused on their work. And then there was Ace. Ace had a hard time focusing during university, and he had an incredible GPA and like all his grades were incredible. However, he, he really thought about it, and he would spend a lot of time with his girlfriend, Hayden. Um, and, you know, this is just a cute picture of them. It has nothing to do with the context, but they're just adorable, so I wanted to post it. But, he would talk to her and have a bunch of deep conversations with her, just talking about how he wasn't really enjoying it, and he, kind of just didn't understand. He understood it, but not fully to the degree he wanted to. He was studying like programming and like video games and video game development and everything like that. And it was something he was interested in, but once he got to it, he just didn't love the behind the scenes process of everything like that. But we know he is a huge gamer and he loves video games, but he didn't love the behind the scenes process as much as he thought he would. So, he had a long kind of conversation with Hayden, in which he ended up kind of just deciding that it would be best for him to focus on his streaming and actually leave university. He can enroll again whenever he feels like it, but as of right now, he is not in university. He didn't graduate, he doesn't have a diploma, and he's just kind of doing his own thing. I will eventually, in the future, get him into a career like the tech guru career, probably in the video gaming branch. But as of right now, he just doesn't want to go back to university. And I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth stuff here, but back to Clover. She, as I mentioned earlier, realized her feelings for Philip, and seeing Will again at the university graduation, they got to connect and she got to talk to Will, and they talked about the ups and downs of their relationship and why they kind of drifted apart and what went wrong and everything. And it also made her realize that she hadn't been in a relationship since she broke up with Will immediately after high school. And taken, she went to university, did all her things. So realistically, imagine this process being about maybe like a year and a half, 2 years, depending on her program length, which I don't see being a very long one. But she hadn't been in a relationship for a while, so she decided to finally give the idea of a relationship with Philip a chance. And they actually went on a date, and it was very cute and very wholesome. And the two of them learned so much about each other, and they already knew so much about each other, but they learned like such personal things. And she's not even dating Philip yet, and she got the opportunity to learn all of these deep rooted, incredible things about him, and vice versa. He got to learn them about her. And they really just kind of, I don't want to say fell in love because we're not there yet, but have quite a strong fondness for one another. And let's just say after the date, things kind of progressed. They went back to Clover's house and may or may not have woohooed. They may or may not have gotten a little bit spicy, but it was actually very wholesome afterwards. I don't have any pictures, but they actually, he stayed over, he stayed the night, and, you know, they actually cooked together. They did the cooking together interaction and watched a movie and just spent so much personal quality time with each other afterwards. So it was just like a really wholesome experience after the woohoo. And I think that's why I really like Clover and Philip as much as I do. And let's just say, speaking of woohoo, quick transition into Dana and Leo. The two of them woohooed. Not their first time. I think their first time is actually in a video on for high school years, but not their first time, not their first rodeo. But however, this time led to something big, something huge. That something huge is Dana found out she was pregnant. Now, she wasn't necessarily like upset about this, although she was still a little bit frightened due to being in university, that being her main priority, and just, still being relatively young. I imagine them being like maybe 18 years old. Uh in if we're like trying to put a realistic age on them, they're probably both 18. So they're still both very young, but she kind of also doesn't see a problem with the pregnancy besides all the things that she's kind of worried about, like school and stuff. But Leo, on the other hand, although he does also want to focus on school, he was incredibly excited about this news. Like, super excited. That it kind of threw Dana off a little. She was a little bit confused as to why, but it actually mainly had to do with how much his time in high school, what we didn't see after the Let's Play is he matured so much and he spent a lot of time with his parents and he saw how incredibly they raised him and his siblings, and he really wanted the chance to be a father one day so that he could do the same thing with his future children. And he really wanted to take care of Dana while she was pregnant. He was like cooking for her, doing chores around the house for her, literally doing anything he could for her, taking time off of he's on the soccer team, taking time off of practice to help her with things, taking her to parenting, like, lessons and meetings and such like that. Um, in Within their free time, he really just wanted to be there for her no matter what. And she was also pretty huge, pretty fast, as you can see in this picture. Also, look how ripped she is, even when pregnant. How does she do it? I don't know. She is crazy, but in a great way. but um let's, I guess, hop back into Clover really quickly. She was getting ready to actually go to the Starlight Accolades. She got nominated for an award, which is super exciting, when I got a pop up saying that Philip wants to take things to the next level. Will Clover be his girlfriend? And at first, I was going to reject this because I wasn't quite ready to get them into a relationship, but I ultimately agreed and they began dating because I saw the pop up and I was like, okay, maybe it's a sign because he just kind of walked up to her and did it and it was super duper adorable and precious. Although the game literally seconds after gave me this pop up saying it's happening. Philip is so utterly smitten with Clover that he's proposing to her. And I obviously said no to that one because I was like, okay, that was not planned. This is not realistic. I don't want to do this. But she was in a great mood. She went to the Starlight Accolades and she won her award. She won it for a video that she made because I actually get her to put out videos using like the video station from Get Famous. And she was just super happy. And I think it was like a really big moment in her life. She found out her younger brother was having a baby. And, she was a little bit comparing herself to him. And she was like, okay, I have this great career. I graduated. I have a boyfriend. But, she was like, it still didn't feel like a huge life moment for her until she won this award. And I think it completely changed her outlook and made her feel a lot better, to be honest. Another thing that probably made Clover feel better was Philip after because they woohooed uh, after she won. But that's a little joke. And I know I'm talking a lot about Leo and Dana. However, a lot of what I've done so far has revolved around them. Not as much Ace. I promise in the next update he will get some more love. I just haven't been able to focus on him as much at the moment. But I threw a baby shower for Dana and Leo, and it was very sweet, very wholesome. I invited like almost everyone, like everyone they went to high school with, except for Will. He didn't show up. I even invited Brynn and Alistair. It was very cute, very sweet. So here's some pictures of her and Clover. And then here is Dana and her twin sister, Kelsey, who I absolutely love the makeover for, by the way. And if you guys haven't seen their criticism video, I actually mentioned that I had imagined them to be kind of similar to Ace and Leo at the beginning, specifically the High School Years Let's Play, where they just kind of butt heads a lot. And I mentioned that I had imagined Dana and Kelsey to be very similar. But towards the end of high school, Kelsey and Dana actually got to be like really close, like basically best friends. They bonded so well and finally got like that sisterly bond the two of them never really had while growing up. So Kelsey's actually came over a lot. She's been a huge part in Dana's life. But here's another picture with Dana and Ace because he's just so excited to be uncle. Same with Clover. She's excited to be an aunt. And obviously a picture of Dana and Leo. The two parents to be in the moment, I should say, because little surprise. Dana went into labor shortly after the baby shower. Poor thing was in so much pain. I got them to have the baby, plural, spoiler, at home. Just cause I thought it was cute and I actually cheated a little bit, but it was a whole thing for the story purposes of this Let's Play. I had the lay on lines lot trait on their apartment so that the two of them could have twins. I actually totally always imagined the two of them having kids at a young age and having specifically twins. Um, it's because 'cause they're both sets of twins. Ace and Leo are twins, Dana and Kelsey are twins. It would make sense for that genetic to be passed on, you know, and they had twins. And they had 2 little girls, which I did not cheat, but I also low-key envisioned that for them as well. They had 2 little girls named Noah and Luna, which I might change the name for Luna. I don't know how I feel about it still, but I also do think it's very cute. But, as of right now, that is everything I have for you guys. And I know this was a little bit of a long video. I didn't get to any gameplay. I was actually originally going to add in some gameplay into this video, but I figured because it's already been so long, I won't do that. It would just take way too much time and make this video longer than it needs to be. But that is everything that has honestly really happened as of right now in my save file, in my gameplay that I've been doing off camera. This is the Sheffield Legacy, I guess still current household video, but Sheffield Legacy. And this will be in a separate playlist than the original, just so you guys know. Um, think of it as a post or after the high school years kind of current household series, and I will give you guys updates as much as possible. But in saying all this, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below any thoughts that you have or anything, any exciting moments, anything that you might actually want to see in a future current household update. Let me know. I love seeing comments, especially super lengthy ones. Some people might think, oh my gosh, it's such a long comment, but I love giving them a read and responding to them. They make my day. And yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers, which is super duper exciting to me. It would mean a lot if I could get there. And in saying all this, I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.